This Sunday, millions of people around the world will buy flowers, chocolates, and greeting cards to celebrate their mothers. It feels like an act of pure, innocent love. But what if I told you that the woman who invented Mother's Day spent her entire life trying to destroy it? Her name was Anna Jarvis. She didn't just create a holiday, she accidentally birthed a billion-dollar corporate monster. And when she declared war on the companies profiting from her mother's memory, the system crushed her. She was arrested, silenced, and locked inside a psychiatric asylum to die blind and alone. You think you are celebrating family, but you are feeding a dark empire. Ex umbris ad lucem. Welcome to Animus Lore. To understand the tragedy of Anna Jarvis, you have to understand the woman she was mourning. Her mother, Anne Reeves Jarvis, was not just an ordinary housewife. During the bloody American Civil War, she organized Mother's Day work clubs. She brought wounded soldiers from both the North and the South together, treating their wounds and forcing sworn enemies to see each other as human beings. When this heroic woman passed away in 1905, her daughter Anna was shattered. Standing over her grave, Anna made a sacred vow. She wanted to create a memorial day to honor the quiet, unseen sacrifices that mothers make for their children. She didn't want parades. She didn't want a public spectacle. She wanted a day of intimate reflection. She chose the white carnation as its ultimate symbol. Why? Because a white carnation does not drop its petals as it dies. It hugs them tightly to its heart, just like a mother's enduring love. Anna spent years writing thousands of letters to politicians, and in 1914, she won. The US government officially declared the second Sunday of May as Mother's Day. It was her greatest victory, but she didn't realize she had just handed the keys to a gold mine straight to the wolves of Wall Street. Almost immediately, the corporate vultures descended. The floral industry, greeting card companies, and telegraph corporations like Western Union saw an entirely new, untapped market. They didn't see a day of love. They saw a psychological weapon to guilt-trip millions of people. Before 1914, a white carnation cost a few pennies. Overnight, the floral industry bought up the entire supply across the country and artificially inflated the prices by over 1,000%. If you couldn't afford a white carnation, they started selling red ones for the living and white for the dead. They turned a symbol of grief into a catalog of products. Then came the greeting cards. Companies launched massive psychological ad campaigns. The message was clear. If you didn't buy a printed card and a box of expensive chocolates, you were a terrible child. Anna was disgusted. She furiously wrote to the press, "A printed card means nothing, except that you are too lazy to write to the woman who has done more for you than anyone in the world." The holiday she built from her mother's blood had been completely hijacked by corporate greed. So, Anna Jarvis went to war. She became a one-woman army against American capitalism. She crashed floral conventions, screaming at the executives, calling them charlatans, bandits, and pirates. She organized massive boycotts. She even went door to door, begging people to stop buying flowers. In 1923, she even attacked a charity group, the American War Mothers, because they were selling white carnations to raise money. To Anna, it didn't matter if it was for charity. Selling the flower was a desecration of her mother's soul. She was violently dragged away by the police. But you cannot fight a billion-dollar industry and expect to win. The corporations began a smear campaign. They labeled her a crazy, bitter spinster. She was arrested multiple times for disturbing the peace. She spent every last penny of her family's massive inheritance filing lawsuits to stop the commercialization. By the 1940s, Anna Jarvis was completely bankrupt. Penniless, aging, and completely blind, Anna was quietly removed from society. The system had successfully buried the one person who dared to expose their profit machine. She was locked away in the Marshall Square Sanitarium, a psychiatric ward, left to rot in the darkness. Anna Jarvis died in 1948, at the age of 84, entirely alone. She never had children of her own, but there is a final twisted secret to her story, a secret that the history books tried desperately to hide. While Anna was in the sanitarium, her expensive medical bills were secretly being paid. By who? The executives of the floral and greeting card industries. They didn't do it out of kindness. They did it to keep her locked up, to ensure she wouldn't cause a public relations scandal. They kept their biggest enemy alive and trapped, just so she couldn't speak to the press. Today, Mother's Day generates over $35 billion annually. The monster Anna Jarvis tried to kill is now immortal. The next time you buy a card or a bouquet of flowers, because society tells you to, remember the blind woman in the asylum who begged you not to. The system writes the history, but the lore uncovers the truth. If you want to decode the dark psychology of our world, hit the subscribe button and join the Animus. Who is next?